real. What it good do? What's up, y'all? Peace, peace. Thank you, baby girl Tay. You coming through to show support. That's what's up. Appreciate you. Alina, we say your phone broke. Oh man, that's horrible. Patricia Blair, Golden Aries, Jennifer. What's up? What's up, everybody? If people, y'all all popped in. I had Lauren speaks. Auntie Leah, what's up? Uh, you say you like the title after? Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's because I was thinking about a topic, and I was just thinking like, yo, the state of hip hop right now is whack. And I said, I don't like to do what if this happened, or like it's almost like living with regrets and stuff like that. I don't like to focus on the possibilities, or you got to you focus on what was actually in your face. Yeah, it's a great song. That was a dope song. I say one of my favorite. Well, I say the release songs by Jag, because she got so many stuff that's dope as hell that she need to get out here and promote it. In fact, here we are, Miss Jaguar, Miss 99.4 thousand subscribers. What's up? Can you sing that line? I can't sing like you. You already know I can't sing. Was that the song of the
Can't
what
feel
if? People
my
are like,
legs.
you
What?
can't feel your leg. That's not the song. It's
What song?
what was on the what was it? The what ifs. The what ifs.
What
The
if things could change? And what if you weren't strange? Telling me no more, 'cause what I know of you is you're walking out the front door.
hmm
And what if
Yeah,
things were different? Yeah, yeah,
that's the shit.
yeah.
That's the shit. What's up, Jag? Everybody love that shit. The what ifs.
You know
The what
what?
ifs.
I love that record too.
When did you write that? Like I know it came out what 99 no, it came out 2000, right? But you probably it came out 2000, right?
I wrote the acapella in 1998.
Yeah,
I
okay.
performed it live on stage with Scott Storch and Chuck Matrice. Not yeah, Chuck Matrice was on, and Taurus. No, not Matrice, Mateen. Yeah, it
Okay.
was Taurus Mateen on bass and Chuck Treese on drums,
Mm,
Scott Storch on keys. And we improv the music and whoop, voila.
dope.
In
Dope.
99 and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the most memorable songs. And
Yeah,
they were
my
like,
early career.
people were like, yeah. And the thing is it's like you don't get credit for a bunch of the stuff that you wrote before, and then I'm just kind of like the stuff that you got in the backdrop that you ain't even released. Really, is yeah. People be blowing their minds. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Such talent, so much talent.
And you know what? I thank God and I do it for the Lord now. I don't even, it used
hmm
to, once upon a time, I remember when I wanted to be a big successful songwriter and all of that. And I'm not saying that I don't care about it anymore or anything like that. It's just when you finally realize that it's being used for terrible things.
hmm
Um, it makes you feel a little bit different. Like I used to feel like, oh man, I need to get this out to the world. The world needs to hear this. And you know what? Now it's just like it'll all happen in God's time.
Yep. No, it'll happen. And Prince said the most important thing back day because he saw, when he said let the technology catch up to the
Yeah.
music
To your
industry. That's real
imagination.
because
Uh-huh.
to your imagination, to the music industry,
Yeah.
because he knew, and yeah, he was saying some real stuff, and yeah, it's very important for now. I guess if you're a real artist, and I guess it's good because well, I don't know, maybe if you want to talk about it or not. We were just talking about Ari Lennox. I didn't know too much about Ari Lennox, and I know you said people were comparing you or her to you when she came out, and um, I didn't know she really made her name back in what 2019, so before the pandemic. I didn't even I didn't know too much about it. I just see I remember
Ari been around
Jake
for over a decade. Ari been around for a little bit.
before 2019.
Yeah, before 2019, and
Okay.
but they kept her. She reminds me of me to a certain extent. Like she was the girl of the crew for Dreamville, just like
Hmm.
I was the solo girl for the crew, for the Roots, for Motive. She made a big splash. She was unapologetically herself. She kept it raw. I kept it raw. But I realized, the difference between Ari Lennox and myself was I was speaking out at so many different kinds of things, and I was speaking more to love. Her content was really sexualized, like I mean,
Yeah.
sexualized, like heavy,
Yeah.
heavy, heavy. And she kind of got stuck there. Like she just kind of got stuck there. She became, um, and it's crazy because she has a lovely voice and she she's a good writer. She is. She's a
Yeah.
good writer.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just think she got caught up into the gimmick game, and it's yeah, yeah, it's kind of
She
wild what's
she
happening with her. I don't know. I think I'm still a little traumatized from that video we watched.
which one?
Her new video.
Oh, the one that came out a few days ago. Yeah, yeah, that was. Yeah, I ain't gonna speak too much on that, but yeah, she's
Yeah.
no longer on Dreamville. Is she on Interscope? Because I know she did something not too long ago independently with Interscope where she was like, you know, before right around that time she was complaining about Dreamville. I guess
Well,
she
yeah,
didn't really want to
because
be on the label.
Dreamville was doing her dirty.
Yeah,
Dreamville was screwing her off. Dreamville was on some nonsense, and they pretty much had her shelved. And
yeah.
she could only get a song out if she was on someone else's project. And I know how that feels because that's what happened to me. And
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
they're boxing you in like that, they're boxing you in like that for a reason. So, you
They're
know,
trying to contain the talent, or they don't want her to rise above. Is that what it is? Because
listen to me. There's
she's
no
not my
way.
cup of tea, but I believe she's talented. Go ahead.
There's no way SZA is more relevant than her. There's just no way. Don't get me
Okay.
wrong. I think as a writer, SZA understands how to write a good pop record, but as I mean, I don't know. I just don't see it. I don't see SZA being more relevant than Ari. I
Well,
don't.
we could circle back to that conversation because
Wow,
the
that's
conversation
crazy.
that
Who is Ari Lennox? That is so funny.
see that's the bad thing. See, the funny thing is see that's why I say I'll circle back to it,
Oh
and I'm
yeah,
not dogging her out.
they're giving her the Jaguar Wright treatment, cause like that's kind of crazy. No, Ari
Yeah,
Lennox
Ari.
was signed to Dreamville, which is J. Cole's label on Rock Nation. He was the first artist to sign to Rock Nation, and he was the first
Mm-hmm.
artist to get his own label deal through Rock Nation, Dreamville.
Hmm.
Dreamville was kind of supposed to be, like I said, that whole thing, it just kind of reminds me of Roots Crew. Like it seemed like a reinvention of the Dirty Backpack era, as Wendy Williams used to say about us. And it's just so interesting because Wendy Williams calling us the Dirty Backpackers is the very thing that made all of them want to run and put on designer clothes and do all of this because they didn't want to be labeled, one way or the other. It was it they didn't want to be left out. They wanted to be one of the cool kids. And they've been chasing that motto ever since. And it's like I don't think people really understand. No, like Ari is really, 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 really talented. It's just you're in the system, and
Hmm.
once you've lost your edge, once you've lost that thing, you know it's I think people have tend to you know not pay attention to how the landscape is looking. Gabby Wilson from HER, having everything revealed, she's kind of disappeared from the landscape. Jasmine Sullivan, she's had her moments where she's peaked out and she's burned bright, and then she's back on the shelf. And it's
Hmm.
wild because they have to continuously keep over sexualizing themselves just to be able to break through, when the truth is they do so much more than that. Like I remember when Gabby used to write poems that she would turn into socially conscious records, and then
Hmm.
that stopped so she could write about, the sex stuff. And that was
Hmm.
much all it was. So
Yeah, they put a lot of these artists in the twists, and that's you know, that's the sad stuff. Well, like I said, I Ari Lennox, I found out what her name came from some book that she read. Mary, the character in the book was Mary, so she flipped it to Ari. The Lennox was from the rock side, but she said she should have. I think she was saying she should have done like a more of a Nubian African name or whatever. Which Ari Lennox is kind of like you got Ari Fletcher. Like it's like, and they do that purposely. I think the industry does that. Like even with Iggy Azalea, Azalea Banks was first, right, and then Iggy Azalea. Um, you feel awful. Why, Alina? Why do you feel awful? Sizzle knows what sizzles. But no, they put these artists in this twist, and I'll even talk about Dochi, because I remember last year so promising. Like, oh damn, Dochi, she's dope. Ooh, and then next thing you know, she butt naked, right? Like
I'm gonna tell you
it's
something right now. I'm glad that was short lived for me. I'm glad that was short lived for me. I'm glad I ain't have all that much investment in that child. All I know is she was popping through. I saw the tiny desk. I wish I had to stop there because now every time I see the girl, she ass naked. The only time she wore clothes was at the Met Gala, and Pharrell dressed her like a little boy.
Mhm.
It really it did. It looked like he took something out of his closet and told her to wear it. That's what it looked like. And like it was supposed to be special because it had LV all over it, LV all over it. I'm just like, have we gotten back to that point in time now where people are just, label obsessed, label upset, flashing herself on stage, running around in her underwear and tights and
It's
high
crazy.
and knee socks and heels. And I'm just like, I don't know, but I can't be mad at her. Look at all of the people that she should be looking up to. They all running around in their drawers too. Everybody's in their drawers or wearing some kind of star spangled onesie. Like it's just I don't.
Why? Even what's her face? Janelle Monae. She came out dressed like a freaking uh, robot and an android, and then with the men's suit on at first, and then next thing you know, she butt naked. I was just like, okay, You know,
Everybody gotta
like
get butt naked.
pretty much.
Bucket naked.
Eh, Everybody, everybody got to get butt naked. Yeah,
I just don't understand. Like, I don't understand why does everybody want to be a stripper? Strippers don't want to be strippers. Look at Cardi B. Look at Megan Thee
yeah.
Stallion. They strippers. They didn't want to be strippers no more. They just wanted to, you know,
That's a see when we talk about the what ifs. I think
rappers don't want to be
that's a
rappers no
whole.
more either. Rappers don't want to be
Well,
rappers no more either.
rappers don't want to be rappers. Ball players want to be rappers. Rappers want to be podcasters. Uh, let's hold on. Let's not go there just yet because that's a good yeah. Because yeah, rappers don't want to be rappers. You're right. Strippers don't want to be strippers. Um, yeah, it's topsy turvy. It's a whole lot. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's
And
crazy.
I'll tell you something really
Um,
funny.
go ahead.
And it's wild now because they're all deceased, so I can say it without having to feel bad about it. But it does give it another inch of gravitas because everyone's deceased now.
Hmm.
D'Angelo thought he was Marvin Gaye reincarnated,
You were telling me that.
which is wild because D'Angelo was born before Marvin Gaye passed away.
Yeah,
Marvin Gaye wanted to be Nat King Cole.
and that King Cole was still around when Marvin Gaye was
And Nat King Cole, well, he was on the verge of passing away.
okay.
He hadn't died yet. Because don't forget, Nat King Cole, he didn't live very long. Um, I don't even think
He
he
lived
made
up
it
until
to.
what, the 70s? He
I
lived in the
don't.
70s.
Hold
He
on.
was the first one to have his own talk show. Not talk show, but he's
Hold on a
one
second.
of the black people that had his own show in the
Hold
60s,
on a second.
the
Hold
50s,
on a
60s.
second.
And yeah, he was done by the 70s or late 70s, I think.
Hold on a second. No, yeah, you couldn't be more wrong. I told you.
I couldn't
Bless
be
your
wrong. What happened?
soul. Bless your soul. He died in
Oh, damn, he died in 65.
1965. Like I told
I
you.
do. Wow. But Marvin Gaye was around then though. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he was around, but I mean, yeah, Nat King Cole, he didn't have a very long life.
No, well, 1919 to 1960. I guess that yeah. My grandma was born 1919, and yeah, so he wasn't up to 40 something.
Yeah, he was a young man. He was a young man. Oh man, I tell you. But anywho's, I guess my point for bringing that up is nobody wants to be who they actually are. Or should I
Mm,
say, very few people want to be who they actually are. It's wild how that works, especially in
yeah,
entertainment.
yeah. Well, there's something with these entertainers being obsessed with. I wouldn't say other entertainers. It's almost like I said, like that movie Sinners. Like I'm gonna watch it for the third time, and the first time you watch it is one thing. The first time I watched it, I didn't even see that last part where, uh, how they came, they were
Spoiler
reincarnated. Or
alert!
spoiler alert! I don't want to spoiler alert. Anyway, let me not spoil alert it. But
You
at
talking
the
about
end,
when they
I'll
came
just
when they came to see him and they was talking
yeah, I
about,
didn't
man,
even. I left. The
I miss
first
the
time I left.
real stuff. I miss the
Yeah,
real stuff. Yeah. Yeah.
the first time I left, and then going back seeing it, then I was like, oh, I missed that, and then it brought a whole lot of other. It brought some other things into context. Um, that movie Sinners and what you're talking about as far as like all these people not wanting to be who they are uh, is real. Uh,
Speaking of not
it,
wanting
it,
to be
it,
who they are, what the hell was Halloween all about?
everybody trying to be a celebrity.
No, but it was really
Celebrity
funny.
worship.
It was no, it was just really, 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 really funny because my thing is who decided? Who decided that this is going to be the theme? Like, is nobody paying attention to the fact that like the whole world got a silent memo that everybody was going to pretend to be a celebrity this year?
Yeah,
Like, I'm just trying to
yeah.
figure out, like, how did that become a thing? How did all of these celebrities? What I mean, what the hell? Is
The
nobody
the
paying attention to the fact how coordinated and choreographed that whole thing was?
the agents, the managers, they all must think it had to been some memo, and they plan this stuff out months in advance.
Like,
They probably already got
like that Kayla Nicole business that everyone made such a big deal about. When I looked at all of the thought that went into that. So you go and you find yourself a dress that resembles the dress that Tony Braxton had. You get your hair pressed out or you put on a wig to look like that. You do the makeup, you get the accessories, and then you got to go to a green screen studio. There was an actual director who
hmm
took it and implemented it so he could cut back and forth from the real video to her in the video, and she's sitting there doing the choreography, and they sitting up there, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, Kayla Nicole, Kayla Nicole, and I'm just like, so everybody just woke up and said, I'm gonna be a celebrity this year for Halloween. I got a whole nother theory about that.
What's the theory?
They're trying to find a way to salvage the industry.
Yeah, a lot of people are waking up to the industry and the bull and the BS and the games. The spell is pretty much broken. Let's just say it like that. So the ones who are in they have a lot to gain. I'll just say the people who have invested years and years to getting into this industry, yeah, they got to keep it afloat. They have to, they mentally and financially, spiritually, emotionally invested into the industry to
Let's
where they
be
just have to keep it up.
let's be honest. They know that after people like me have been sitting out there putting all their asses on blast, making them look like what they look like, the one thing that what I've done has done is not make celebrities look special anymore. Matter of fact,
Hmm.
I've made them look unfortunate. I've made them look like exactly what they are: victims, co-conspirators, bad actors, and
Yeah,
bad people. And
as
yeah, it's hard
no,
to worship evil openly.
I was
It's
gonna
hard to
say
say I want to be like that person. I want to be like this person. I want to be like that person. I want to be like this. I want to be like that because that's what celebrities are there for. They're there to
pretty
make
much.
you not want to be you. They're there
Hmm.
so you'll want to be them and then you'll want to live where they live and have what they have and buy what they wear and do. If people don't have any respect for idol worship anymore and hero worship anymore and celebrity worship anymore, then how are the companies supposed to get society or make society feel indebted to having to give all of their money away to buy a bunch of crap?
It's no longer working. The Tone talked about this years ago. Shout out to Tone Talk, the decadent veil, where he even made the analogy. This was before Puffy even got arrested. He's like when Puffy's running down the street, scared for his life, being chased by an angry mob, like Like he made the analogy. I was like, dang, this is years ago. And then I'm like, yeah, well, Puff, Diddy, whatever. He's some part, somewhat of a symbolic gesture to the industry being like imagine if we could talk about what ifs briefly, but I
What
wanted to
if?
get into something
What
real quick.
if? What if? Mm,
What if Puffy didn't go to jail? What would he be at right now? Where would he be right now? Like if he didn't go against Diageo, because if y'all don't know, Puffy went to jail really because of him bucking at Diageo. Like you're not supposed to. You're supposed to know your place. That's what I learned about this industry. Don't cross your boundaries. Don't cross certain boundaries. Know your place. Stay in your place. So Puffy is supposed to be the CEO of Revolt, but he didn't really own Revolt, y'all. Nor did he own that liquor company. What was the name of that liquor company he had
Tarak.
supposedly? Ciroc. He didn't own that ish. Puffy Juice. He didn't own it, y'all. And it was, and even Tone Talks was talking about it back in the day. Those grapes from Ciroc were very inferior grapes, like it was an inferior liquor. But they have this illusion. You look at Puff, and he's supposed to symbolize success. He ain't supposed to be struggling. You're supposed to look at Puff and be like, oh, he's been working hard at the rap game for this and this, but he was propped up. He was a plant, basically. Everybody know now this dude was propped up, like placed, and if you don't know, his parties, even though some of these industry folks will try to uh, say that there were no parties, but these were freak offs that he had. He was filming people, and I'm under the impression that you tie in the Epstein, you tie in the Diddy stuff because that was all surveillance. That was all get information on dignitaries, politicians, celebrities uh, for blackmail. So we got the Epstein stuff and we got the Diddy stuff. All and who's President Trump? Stop, y'all. It's and then Trump passed the. He was able to get that big beautiful bill. But come on, y'all. Like I don't get into conspiracies. It's just they say conspiracy theory or reality madness. That's what I say. It's the madness of reality. All Puffy was placed to gather intel, just like Epstein gathering intel. If y'all know who Ghislaine, how do I say her name? Ghislaine Maxwell, who her dad
The
was.
S. The S is silent.
Well, she needs to be less silent. She needs to talk. She needs to start talking about who these PDFers really is. But that's a whole nother conversation. But if Diddy was not in jail, what would he be doing right now? I don't even want to imagine. I don't want to imagine. But if they said just let the freak offs keep going, uh, yeah, I
You
don't
want to
know.
know
I
the
don't
thing
know.
that
But
bothers me more than anything?
was that?
That everybody is like falling for that bullshit ass story that none of that stuff happened.
Yeah, they are. People
Like
are.
that's the
Soiree.
thing. Like I no, well, number one, I don't think he's falling for anything. I don't think he's doing anything but falling on something. But and I ain't gonna say what, but I'm sure it's in between Vlad's legs. I this is the thing. I had something to say to you about a particular person who's been speaking out against the industry. And what I'm about to say, I'm about to be very cute and I'm also about to be very covert. And I'm also about to say that I don't appreciate the covertness of these likes. We could definitely use 50 more. Now, there is a particular celebrity that has called themselves coming out, speaking out against the industry.
Who's that?
I'm not going to say,
Okay.
but I am going to say a few things. This person, it's almost as if people want to like make this person the new me. It's kind of interesting. This person is coming out saying things, and everybody like, oh my God, this person is saying this. You got to pay attention to what this person is saying. Oh my God, this person is saying this. Oh my God. And everyone's getting
Who
all
are you talking
excited.
about?
But what's funny is
Who are you
this
talking about?
person, this person ain't saying shit. And I'm
I'm trying to think who
trying
you talking
my
about.
hardest. I'm trying my hardest not
You ain't gotta say it.
to say anything. But what I am going to say is
Right.
this: when your personal manager was the king of the freak offs and you
Uh
don't know nothing, you don't know nothing. And I've been so quiet because I've been trying not to say anything because I don't want to blow anything up. But what I will say is this.
yeah.
People shouldn't consider people whistleblowers who ain't really blowing anything but a dog whistle. You know, there's so much. Like, this person was sitting there with two of the biggest DL dudes in the game, knowing what they do, knowing who they are, and won't say a word. You want to say a little bit of this, but you want to keep all of that, quiet. And I'm trying my hardest not to, and I'm not gonna say any names. But what I am gonna say is this: if I ever decide that I'm gonna let it go, it's gonna be worse than a false mental health diagnosis. It's gonna be worse. It's gonna be worse.
Mm.
Cause after a while, I just get sick and tired. I get sick and tired. I get sick and tired of seeing people play. Like, cause that's what they do. That's what they do.
Yeah.
They play. You
Yeah.
know, you want to come out, you want to call yourself exposing the industry, and you want to call yourself saying this and saying that, but meanwhile, you sitting here. If you really wanted to bring it all down, you would only have to do one or two things: corroborate everything that I've said that you know is true, or just tell the truth about everything you know. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So I'm and I understand, everybody got to do things their own way, their own time. But the truth is, if this person had opened up their mouth, Diddy would have got popped for that Rico. It would have been impossible.
Yep.
It would
Yep.
have been impossible. This person, if this person had a told the truth, the whole truth and nothing but the truth, Diddy would be doing life. And I think, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna be quiet.
Now don't say nothing. I already know who you talking about. He say
I'm be quiet.
shout out to my what he say? Shout out to my boss, wife, and if somebody wanted to hit. All right, y'all. Is this gonna come through? I'm gonna pivot before I get into the
Mm,
what ifs. Speaking of, you know, boss B words, wife and ninjas, right? Did you hear about this? A homeless man in Atlanta asks for a place to stay, and more than 1,000 women responded. Hold on, let me let you hear
that's the
this.
homeless man.
About the homeless man in Atlanta. That's the homeless story man. About the homeless man in Atlanta who made a public plea for a place to stay, and more than 1,000 women responded.
This man, who goes by the name of Big Boss Escobar, posted in a Facebook group called Atlanta Rooms for Rent. He said, I recently lost my home, just need a place that is reasonable price so I can get back on my feet. I'm tired of sleeping in Atlanta, stay to myself, work a job line. I moved to Atlanta from St. Louis, Missouri 4 years ago. If anybody have any resources you can send my way, I will accept. Thank you. I appreciate it. And of course, the women came through. You can come stay with me, boo. A woman wrote, off bed, cold AC, plenty of food, and a Wi-Fi jumping. A woman named Tisha Lee wrote, you can stay with me. A woman named Courtney said, woo, if you're in my area, you can come stay with me for free. I'll take care of you. After his post went viral and more than 1,000 women responded to his request for a place to stay, he went on Facebook Live to clarify that he's not a pretty face. He's looking for something real.
He okay. What do you think of this? This is the homeless man.
He's not
You like,
just a
oh, this?
pretty face.
That's what he says. He's not a pretty
He
face.
looked like that.
Oh,
He looked like that man that Tiana Taylor with the light skinned dude.
nigga that look like a cat.
Yeah,
That nigga that look like a cat.
yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, he number one, not to be hating, but bro, wipe your nose. Like get them boogers out your nose. Like he got boogers. He got straight boogers in his nose.
Oh, I thought
So
those were.
he
I
not,
thought those were from Pearson's.
I don't know, they look like boogers. To me, they look like straight up boogers. He need number one to get that sinus infection cleared up. And then, if he gonna go in, to Atlanta and because he's in Atlanta and he's like just offering like all these women offering for him to stay. He gonna have HIV by the end of the week.
You want to know what's sad?
Um,
Do you know why that's happening in Atlanta?
you kind of told me, yeah. What will you tell it?
Because that's how hard it is to find a straight black man. That's how hard it is to find a straight black man in Atlanta.
Yeah. But I think sisters, and this is a funny thing.
You see,
It
you
was
see the look
it
on
was
my
some
face.
Latinas.
Do you see the look on my
I see the look on
face?
your face. I see the look on your face. Yeah.
Understand this. Now, it was an AI story, but allegedly it happened in real life. And there was this guy who met up with this older woman, and oh, they had been talking for a while, and he was younger than her, but he was and whoop de woo. And that
Hmm.
ninja came over there. When she finally had him come over for wine, that ninja came over there, and he stole Granny's drawers. He ripped Granny's
Mm.
anus. He
Damn.
busted Granny's jaw. He stole her wallet. He stole whatever stuff he could find out of her house. Roll out. It's just wild to me, like how trusting people are. With online ads, like online people. Number one, what kind of homeless is he with his hair in fresh spiral curls?
What a yeah. I mean, well, you could be homeless and dripping. I mean, you could still have a drip. I don't
I'm
know.
not understanding. And he's got a clothing line.
Yeah, he got a clothing line.
He's got a job, a clothing line, but he's homeless. And he's asking for a place to stay on social media. Okay.
Yeah, that the women's got to do better. Like y'all, I guess people. You got dudes in the comments. A lot of incel dudes that were in the comment section. Like, see, this is what we've been saying. That these black women won't loser bum thug. pink eggplant. Like dudes was going in though, but it's like um, maybe the guy, maybe the women on there were trolling, but I don't, I bet he got into some of them DMs and he probably had a bunch of offers. Like, yeah, come stay with me. Like for real, like
Artists, he probably got cash apps and people willing to send him an Uber.
there you go. Yeah, right, right. So I'm telling you,
See, this is the
this
thing.
couple was outside arguing in my car, accusing each other of giving each other ST. That yeah, that's Janae. That's the yeah. That's I'm good. Like I'm cool. Yeah, that's yeah. I stay to myself. I don't need all them extra STDs and accusations. Like that sounds like an album. I mean, you had Delusion. Your album, your album was called. What was it called? The second
Denials,
album,
delusions, and
Denied
decisions.
Delusions and Decisions. We're gonna have a follow up. Diddy gonna come out with an album called STDs and Accusations. Um, no, go ahead. Yeah, I just say the sisters got to do better if they were really hitting dude up like that. But like you said, I mean, in all honesty, that's why I'm just like I'd say I'm traditional. I know it's not likely that you meet you get married to your high school sweetheart and stuff like that. And I know how it is nowadays. It's different, but you ain't got to be that thirsty. I just said like I guess me being in my older years now, I'm an OG now, right? Uh, I'm it's never that desperate. I'm never that desperate. Um, I mean, this dude could have mental issues. Like y'all, you inviting somebody into the spot, and he could have all kind of issues. He gonna eat up all your snacks and you know
Number
uh,
one, he looked
beat
like
the
he
kids.
bipolar.
He thirst trapping for sure. That's what it is. Like light skin
He
with
not
light eyes. I think
he not just a pretty face. I'm done. Like any
I told
man
him
that
that.
said any man that says I'm not just a pretty face, a man said it. Are
Yeah,
you
that's
kidding
yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah,
I'm not just a pretty face.
yeah. This is hilarious. But this is
You
what
got a
this is
clothing
what
line, and that means you have access to materials and whatnot. Make yourself a tent.
uh, boom. There you go.
Make
You
yourself
got cotton. You got
make
denim.
yourself a damn tent.
You got polyester. Yeah, make you right. You
You
can
can
make them
find yourself a you can make a place for yourself to stay.
you got the material.
Get
Dead
yourself
dead
a make
ass.
a sew you up a tent.
Yeah.
You can even have a sky what they call that, the sky view.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You
Uh huh.
can sew in what's that, a skylight, the whole nine
Yes.
yards. You can go
So on some
find you
plastic.
some find you some campground and make it work.
There you go.
You don't need to live off. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. He got a clothing line. He a designer. He got a job, and he's more than a pretty face, but he need a place to stay. You know what? He Pat. He said he got a job.
He got a job. But see, I don't think, well, he's probably young. I think a lot of these kids don't understand. And it is so true. Slow hustle is better than no hustle because I don't give a dang on care what it is. Like you could be making minimum wage. Look, I went and got a degree
I got great
in
advice
information
for him.
technology.
No, I got a great idea for him. If you can get all of these bitches to show up to offer you a free place to stay, start you a OnlyFans.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's
Got
what I'm about
you
to
an
say. Slow hustle.
OnlyFans,
Yeah, you know,
and you can Lion King dance for them in your
or he can
OnlyFans.
start. He can start an OnlyFriends. It's like it's not my. These are not fans. These are just my friends. And yeah, he could. Yeah, it
Get
could be
you an
OnlyFriends.
OnlyFan, and you can do a strip tease. You can put on your clothing from your clothing line, and you can
There you go.
advertise your clothing from your clothing line, and then you can strip,
Damn.
and they'll
See,
give you enough money to go get you a place to stay, so you ain't gotta go sleeping in some woman's house you don't know.
there you go. See, there you go. Jaguar Wright, y'all. Imagine her, y'all high school counselor. Like, I think that's you. You will be a great high school counselor. You will keep it a buck with these people. You find a girl who's 12th grade. She got D's and F's and U's, and you like, you know what? You might as well get to stripping. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I would never do just that for a woman.
No, I know. As I said, I'm kidding.
Well,
But
at least
imagine being
not after 2005.
so stripping was different before 2005.
Um, yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Well, the world got dangerous, baby. The world got dangerous.
Yeah.
I don't I'm serious. Y'all sitting here laughing. I am dead as serious. Start doing you some strip tease with your merchandise,
No, you dead ass though. That's a great. That is great. That is great.
and you can promote your clothing line, strip, get that bread, and then go get you a place to stay. You know,
His home his clothing line is could be called Homie Treads, and then all he got to do is come out, whoop, and then just yeah, that's perfect. That's good. Oh man, you're a marketing genius.
I d- mm, mm.
Okay, all right,
What
okay,
you
enough
talking
of that.
about? What you talking about? Imagine a man showing up to a bachelor party with Timbos on. I know male
That-
strippers from back in the day that used to show up to strip in they Timbos.
God damn.
Yeah,
Wow.
but I knew female strippers who showed up with bobby socks on and deaconess shoes,
Oh damn.
making their booties clap. I am not
I'm a,
lying.
I'm gonna admit something, and this
I
is
know a
like I'm
chick that
probably
used to strip. She used to strip, and she was wearing underwears from Kmart with white 2-inch patent leather shoes like the deaconess wear and
damn.
bobby socks. Yeah,
I'm gonna say something. Don't judge me. So I know you asked like I never I didn't go to the strip clubs and nothing like that, but I
I
went
can believe it.
uh back in like yeah, me and the homies, the homie One Man. Shout out to One Man. That's the homie, and my boy Drew Inf. Rest in peace. I think Prof went with us too. These my outworld niggas. These are my cats that out. We go back day uh, like I said, them cats rap. They was rapping. And, I was trying to rap, but anyway, they took me to the Barbie Coast. I think like maybe twice. If you're from LA, the Barbie Coast used to be right there on Western and Rosecrans. I'm not promoting it because they didn't even allow that place to open up. It's not even open no more. But this was like 99 2000, and it's funny when you said 2005 before 2005. You're right. It probably was different. But one time, I think, well, the second time I went, the last time I went, I don't know. Somehow uh, there was a stripper there, and she was pregnant.
Yeah,
Yeah, and don't fault me. Don't clown. I think she gave me some sob story. I let her spend a night at my house. That was like a sucker move. I got clowned for that, but I
You
felt
did
bad
what?
for her. I let a pregnant stripper spend the night.
You
Oh
did?
man, yeah. No, I didn't do nothing with her. It's just I felt bad for her. She was like freaking. How are you pregnant, 6 months pregnant and stripping? I've never seen nothing like this.
And you invited that girl home?
Yeah, like all these. See, that's why I talked about the homeless
Oh,
man. That's why I talked about the homeless man and the
oh, you
women's.
poor thing.
I felt bad for her, and yeah, that was dumb.
You poor
She could have
thing.
robbed me. She could have slit my
I'm
throat. It
surprised.
could have
I'm
been.
surprised she didn't rob you.
I'm surprised too. I forgot how I got her out the house, but yeah, like she was like trying to,
She was trying to
like
stay.
yeah, like I was like, nah, and
Wow.
I'm what about 21? I'm on spot. I was working. I was like, nah, I gotta go to work. Like I was like, no, you literally, there's a shelter down the
I know.
street.
I'm
Like
trying to understand. How did it even get to the point where you even invited her? Like y'all
I don't,
discussed this over
I
a
don't
lap
remember.
dance?
No, I don't remember. Look, I remember that night. The homies went to the we was going there to meet. I think we just went there to just meet. He like the homie one probably had some other producers. That's like it was like that little thing. I remember them fools had Helly Hansen on. Like it was the early 2000s, right? And I think what happened. Good thing went on social media because I think somebody ended up getting
Wait,
beat up. It was something
what
that
you
happened.
ended? You mean you ended? So I'm trying to understand. You just offered her a place to stay because you knew she was homeless.
I forgot, dear. I totally forgot. I was I was just nice like that. But God protected me because what I'm saying. It could have been I could have
And
been on
we
snack or
better get.
something.
Listen to me. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. We need at least 50 more likes just for this
Selective. So
story
she said
alone.
selective memory.
Just for this
No, ain't no
story
selective memory.
alone.
I dead ass do not remember how this pregnant stripper ended up spending the night. I do
Oh,
not remember. Was your wallet still? Yeah, my wallet. I should have my wallet.
did she give you a lap dance at the club? Like,
Yeah, she gave me a lap dance and she charged me for two because it was
are you
two
serious?
people giving me the lap dance. I'm joking. No, I didn't get no lap dance. I didn't believe in getting no damn getting lap dance. I thought that was stupid. If I'm gonna get a lap dance, I'm gonna be wearing jogging pants with no drawers.
Lord have mercy.
Anyway, speaking of strippers, did you
I
hear
don't know
about
why you said this. The internet is never gonna let you live this down.
it's jokes. It's jokes.
The
It's
internet
jokes.
is never gonna let you live this down.
This is my content, and yeah. Look,
Fair
I said speaking
use.
of yeah, no, ain't no fair use. Y'all can't all rights reserved. How about that? But speaking of strippers, the game has dropped a message saying if you want to feature, uh, he went on IG and said he's giving out verses to independent artists for how much did he say? 50% off his usual feature. I don't know what his usual feature is, but he dead ass. It is his IG. He's talking about he'll give you a feature. Somebody went in on him and was like, "Game, this is not 2005. This is 2025, and you're washed." And somebody did a whole story like, "Yeah, me and my homies uh, paid for a feature, and it was trash, and me and my homies did better than him, and just this and that." Like basically, they were dogging him out. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Yeah, yeah. They dogged him out. They were giving him, you talk about me not living, the internet not forgiving. The internet didn't forget his antics. So yeah, they basically they dogged him out. So he is, but he's denying it. He's not. He's saying that that wasn't true, or he's not offering the features or something like, I don't know, but it's clearly on his IG. He over here
You want to know what?
saying he's gonna
I
get fifty
think
percent off.
I think it's good for artists to market themselves. I think it's good for artists to reach out to their communities. I think all of that's great.
I like that picture.
This is the thing. I I think you kind of have to be in touch with your fan base a little bit more. Um I think if you don't have that kind of relationship with your followers, if you're not heavily involved in, supporting other artists or stuff like that, I don't think that that was a good idea, because they gonna clown his ass for a while. They gonna clown his
They
ass
already
for a while,
clowning.
and especially
Red
considering,
rose, white ceiling.
yeah, but not just even that. His manager, Whack 100, is on the
Mm-hmm.
ropes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of turmoil going, from what his backing or power structure would be. So it's like you know, I, like I don't want to
Now,
judge him. I don't want to judge him for trying, but they're gonna take this and they're gonna all turn this into, it's because you going broke. It's because you need the money. It's because that
mm-hmm.
girl
Mm-hmm.
did this.
Mm-hmm.
Yada 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 yada. So on so on so
Mm-hmm.
forth. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where that's headed for him. And he would have been just better off asking people for a place to stay. He should take a page out of this homeless boy book.
That's funny. That's wow. You saying he should be taking notes from this guy? Wow, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. Now, for those who don't know, I went to high school with Game. Game is cool. Uh, I can clown him all day, but like I give him his credit. Like I don't. He's from Compton. He made it. I'm not mad at him, and that's great.
He made it
But
when?
I'll
To
just say he
Diddy
made it
house?
out. It- right there. That's where he made it. Take that. Take that.
He made it to
That's
Diddy.
where he made it.
And Diddy was stringing him around and stringing him along for a couple years before he dropped him. And he
I
never got
wonder.
signed. And he never got signed.
I wonder if Diddy met him at the strip club that Lonzo and Game's mama used to run. I don't know. That's something to think about. Hmm. That's something to think about. He was running. Game was running with Diddy. Game was up under the Kardashians. Game was like out here, out here. Like I ain't gonna tell y'all the story, but at a Jag, you be clowning me for that when I said I took a girl to prom and Game took a girl, her cousin. So we took these two girls to prom together. And you said, "Oh, I went to prom with Game." No, I didn't go to prom with Game. I went to prom with this one girl from Lakewood High
I
School.
didn't say you went to
And,
prom with no ninja. I ain't say that.
but yeah,
But from what
Game
I remember
is
from that story, he wanted to tell people he went to the prom with you.
Stop. Stop it. Um, so there's history when it comes to that, and it's funny because um, Game and I didn't really get into it until his altercation with Razcast. So shout out to Razcast. Razcast is a real one. Ain't none of that fake, none of that. Razcast is a real one and a real MC. And let me just say this. Let me pivot because we're talking about the what ifs and the what ifs, the hip hop what
What if
ifs.
Game had to just paid that girl that money after he lost that lawsuit?
Yeah, what if? Would he be a
Would he be?
gatekeeper or because
I don't know.
no, I don't think so. I don't think so because he's supposed to have the Black Wall Street thing and his brother Bird and yeah, all them, and B Fly. B Fly was the dopest thing on that Black Wall Street thing. His sister, he had a sister named B Fly. She still is dope. She's dope. But nah, they were not gonna allow. And when I say they, I'm talking about the powers that be. So let me get y'all up on game. No pun intended.
Hey,
Um,
listen to me. I just want everybody to understand in the chat. Cool out, especially if we don't know
why?
you. Cool out.
Oh wait, what's
Ain't
going
nobody
on? What's
ain't
going on?
ain't nobody doing no shout outs if they don't feel like it. We're here. We're live. And for
Oh
people
yeah,
that are
y'all
busy
gotta chill out.
and for people that are busy trying to get me to cam up because you worried about talking about it ain't the real me, so I'll cam up. You're starting to look like you're doing surveillance.
Whoever said that, who said it? Let me block them because I don't want. Number one, this is the Jag. In fact, I ain't go. You know what? I ain't go. She ain't got a camera. But whoever said that, let me see, because I'm gonna get you up out of here. That's what we gonna do. This is family. This is hip hop family for the most part. Anybody that comes on to the Set in the West channel, your family. I don't care what race. I don't care where you're at on this planet. If you love hip hop and you truly respect hip hop and you know what hip hop is, then your family, you're welcome. But we're not doing the troll stuff. We're not doing any of that. You know what I'm saying? So I said the well maybe the mods already got them. I don't know. But I say Razcast. I'm gonna tell y'all a story real quick because I just found out, and this all makes sense. I'm tying it all together because Razcast number one, real MC. He used to break dance. He was a pop locker. His name was Raisin. He came out of Watts. Then he became a rapper. And then when I first heard of him on the Wake Up Show, I'm like, I heard a song called Nature the Threat. Of course, I heard the Won't Catch Me Running where he sampled Sade. Then I heard another joint he did where he sampled Luther. Won't Catch Me Running. That was Sade. There's another song where he sampled Luther that was just like sick. Never made the album for whatever reason. I'm really good friends with the first producer that he Voodoo. Shout out to Voodoo. If y'all go to you see my uh, videos. I got a joint where Voodoo produced for the homies. Voodoo's the homies. He's a dope producer. Did most of his production. Long story short, though, I ended up meeting Razcast um, right after he did his first album, Soul on Ice. And I was sitting there. That was like one of the first interviews. I'm only like 18, 17, 18. I'm sitting there chopping it up with him. Cue ball from the dog pound. I used to roll with him. He took me over to Razcast house in the homies. And we was just chopping up with him, spent the whole day with him. Raz, cool brother. But he it's like your career, Jag, where he said, you know what, I'm gonna do this song called Nature the Threat. And he already did the song, but he was like, he was gonna release it on his second project, but he was like, man, F all that. I'm gonna put the song out to let everybody know what it is. And that song, he said it hurted him, it hurt him in the industry because, if y'all don't know the song, go look up the song, Nature the Threat. And he said that That song itself stifled his career, and it's true because he didn't get the promotion, and he ended up getting arrested on some bull crap. Like it was weird. Like ever since I met him and started talking with him, and he's like one of the first real artists besides Ahmad. Shout
A
out to
series
Ahmad.
of unfortunate.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But I started noticing it, and it didn't clear up for him until about oh 05, oh 04, oh 05. And then that game thing happened, and that was a humiliation thing. But I don't want to talk about that. But when I was talking with him, when I met him when I was, a senior in high school, chopping up with him, he was telling me that he was cool with New Jersey rappers. He was cool with a lot of East Coast rappers. Raz was more or less like more of an East Coast rapper if you really think about it, but he was from the West Coast, from Carson. Raz was like definitely afraid of being dissed by Pac, and I didn't understand at the time. He was like, "Yeah, man, I never met Pac. I think he met Pac, but then he's like at the time he didn't meet Pac, but him and Pac, Pac knew of him, I think, and Pac knew he was cool and all that or whatever. But he did a song with Chino XL. You remember Chino
Mm.
XL, right, Jag?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Chino XL. He did a song with Chino XL, and Chino made a song called Riot. Y'all can look it up. Chino said something about Tupac getting effed in jail in that song Riot, and Pac didn't like that. So when y'all hear "Hit 'Em Up," Pac dissed everybody. Pac dissed Jay-Z, but the mic started messing up. That was, I don't know, maybe that, I don't know why, but that never made it. He dissed Jay-Z and "Hit 'Em Up, but the mic started messing up. Pac was going in on everybody. He dissed Chino XL,
Which is
and
what
when
made it
Pac
so
when
disrespectful when they did that Bonnie and Clyde crap over Pac's beat.
and disrespectful because even Pimp C was like, I don't rock with Jay because this dude Pac didn't rock with Jay, and it's like that's where I'm gonna go with the conversation because there's just a standard and there's just an automatic respect of certain people in the industry or in the game. I'll just say it like that. Pac had the ultimate respect. Biggie did too, but his alignment with Puffy kind of messed that up. But let me go back real quick.
The only
Pac
reason
dissed it.
Diddy got as much love as he got was because of Biggie. If it wasn't for Biggie, I'm
If Biggie would have lived, Biggie was going to get away from Puff, and it was slated that Biggie, who else was it? Biggie and was it Cameron? No, Biggie, Jay Z, and who was supposed to be the commission? The commission.
it was
Him,
Biggie and Jay
Biggie,
Z.
Pac. No,
No,
it was
Pac
Biggie,
wasn't a
Jay
part of
Z,
it. It was
not
Biggie,
Pac. I'm
Jay
sorry,
Z.
Biggie,
It was
Jay
Biggie,
Z,
Jay Z.
Foxy, and Lil Kim.
No, no, it wasn't Little Kim. It was Charlie freaking
Charlie
Baltimore and
Tuna. I'm
Tiffany.
Charlie Baltimore. Charlie Baltimore. I said Charlie Tuna because I put Charlie Tuna. Shout out to Charlie Tuna. It was Charlie Baltimore. You're right. You're right.
And that
Yep.
project never heard the light of day. Never heard the light
No.
of day.
But let me go back. Razcast was so afraid that Pac was gonna diss him on that record, hit him up. Because Pac dissed everybody. Pac was Lil Ceasy, Mob Deep, nigga. I'm sure one of y'all niggas got sickle cell, nigga. Like he was Pac. If you got dissed by Pac, forget it. Forget it. But Raz told me he was just like, yeah, man, I was afraid I was gonna get dissed by Pac, but Pac never dissed him. I think Pac had respect for him. Pac knew what it was,
Once upon a
and
time,
Pac
if you
knew
got
of
dissed by
everybody.
KRS-One, that was the end of your career.
That was it. PM Don. That was it for PM Don, right? So what I'm saying though is, back in the day, I don't know how old you guys are. A lot of us, when I look at my demographics, we don't have 18 to 25-year-olds really listening like that. A few of y'all are here though, but if you're 18 to 25, there was just this respect. It was a respect level, or I wouldn't even say level. I was looking for a different word,
No, it was a
but
bar. It was a bar that was set for
okay,
respect. Period.
there you're right. You're right. So Pac didn't get violated, even though now you got all these people running around talking about Pac was gay. and that's not true. They were running around here talking about that, like when Chino made the line, Tupac getting effed in jail. Like, number one, Chino was always saying some very controversial stuff. He said, "Because my heart is blacker than the cotton fields and the slavery day." Chino said some wild stuff, and Chino was. I got a whole story about Chino. I'll talk about that later.
Chino
I
XL was a
remember,
shock. He was a shock jock, and I think he
yeah.
was paid out. And I honestly believe he was paid opposition, which is why he was so easily discarded. Um, and I think he failed at his mission as well when it came to a lot of things.
Well, he was brought in by Rick James though. A lot of people don't know that Rick James, that was his, like, that was, I'm not gonna say that was his artist, but it was his artist. Rick James pretty much put on Chino XL, I think. Um,
That speaks
but
volumes in itself.
right, that's it, exactly. But and shout out to Rick James. Rick James, that was my dad's favorite artist. I gave my dad the box set or one of his CD collections of Rick James. I didn't get Rick James when I was young. I thought he was gay. I was like, look at this. But I understood it. I was like, oh, okay. Like, Dad, why you like this? Why you like this guy, Rick James? Okay, I'm gonna get you the. But yeah, Rick James. Shout out to Rick James. Rest in peace, Rick James. Um, but there was this respect. There was just this respect in hip hop where you either had it or you didn't. Karis One, perfect example, Jag. Karis One slapped PM Don off the stage and rocked their show. Like, who you gonna let Karis One do that to you? So there was an incident where LL Cool J ended up getting into a fight at Word on Wheels because he thought he was his blood, right? And Word on Wheels, I think that was his schoolyard neighborhood Crips. So so New York respect, LA respect different. You know what I'm saying? But it still was all the same. Um, but you either had the respect or you didn't. And it's funny that Pac did Juice because Pac had the juice when it came to this. Like, when before '96 September, Pac, you didn't. Hammer low key was the gangster. Hammer was a gangster, and he had respect, even though people dogged him out in the industry. But Pac just, it was like you did not disrespect Pac. And then after September of '96, it's like everything went out the door. Biggie was left, but then he was gone 6 months later. And then we had this vacuum, I would say, but you had certain people stepping up. Jay-Z was one. Puffy was already, doing that. People don't look
He
at
didn't step
Jay-Z's in
up.
my lifetime. No, no, no. I
He
know.
didn't
Listen,
step up.
listen to what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not right. He didn't step up. What he did was this, and this is what I was trying to say. Around that time, he had that "In My Lifetime" Volume One album, right? Remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
He had that album. That album was inspired by Puffy. If you look at what he's doing this on album cover, and then you listen to the song. He was being influenced by Puffy, because Puffy, and I hated that era, the shiny suit era, and I hated Mace. I ain't go front. I hated Mace because I come
Guess what?
from.
You're not the only
Y'all gotta
one. I didn't
understand.
like Mace either. He was cheeky. He was an asshole. He was ignorant.
I,
And he
I,
loved being stuck up underneath the diddler. Oh, he loved being stuck up
mm-hmm.
underneath the diddler. And it's just kind of wild to me because, you know, these people, uh, uh, like, when you see stuff like this, that
Ah,
freaked me out.
yeah, yeah. King Latifah, as Professor Griff affectionately calls her, King Latifah. I met Queen Latifah. It's funny, all the stuff that I'm telling y'all around the same year, '96, '97, '98. I met Queen Latifah on the set of Living Single when they were on their last season, I believe. Um, and Queen was cool. Queen was cool. She had a little girlfriend, and nobody knew she was. But Queen Latifah was cool. But seeing this here, yeah, I said, what? Somebody gotta get paid. See, you flash these symbols, to let them know you're down. And when I say them, I'm talking about the ones who run the industry. Don't get it twisted. Hip hop is still ran by people for the most part who are true to the culture, but I think it's a lot of infiltrators that are in place right now. That's why I mentioned Jay and Puffy at the time around '97, and all that stuff. Hip hop used to be like a real, thing. Like I think I told y'all about the 2000 Crows. That was like a real secret society of hip hop, and it wasn't just West Coast; it was East Coast. I think, like, if you just said you down with the 2000 Crows, you got a place to stay. They would give you weed. They would whatever. This is back in the day, and I ran into the Crows when me and my boys were freestyling at USC's radio station. They had USC had a radio station. My boy used to run the radio, and he used to just let us come and freestyle. And that's when we got a taste of what we were doing. And we battled this one crew called the Have Nots, and they whipped our ass because the dudes I was rolling with went on some real MC. They were on some fraudulent stuff. One dude was with it, but the other dudes were. That's a whole other conversation. But the 2000 Crows came out of nowhere and was like, "Yo," because these dudes, the Have Nots, they was threatening to shoot us. They was like, y'all want to take it outside? Like they battling, but they like, you want to take it outside? We gonna shoot you. We was like, whoa, wait, why the game? The 2000 Crows came out of nowhere, like, what's up? The Crows ascended, and they had our back. Nothing happened. Nothing crazy happened. But there was a real society called the 2000 Crows. That was real hip hop. Wasn't no funny, when I with the booty gauge. None of that. No, it was real. Like, oh, you hip hop? Yeah, I'm down with the Crows. Oh, cool. Hey, you can go stay over here. Whoop, whoop. Like that was a real thing. Now you got to give it up to this. If you down with hip hop, supposedly, you got to give it up to this. You got to put up the little signs. You got to do all the little whatever to let you know. Yeah, I know who Lyra Cohen is. Lyra Cohen knows who my OGs are. I answer directly to OGs from Uncle Jam's Army. Lyra Cohen came out here and tried to be down with Uncle Jam's Army. Let's just let me just put it out there like that because Russell Simmons, Def Jam was tied in with Uncle Jam's Army with Roger Clayton to a degree. I gotta finish my documentary set in the West so I can let y'all know the whole story. But Lyra Cohen knows, and he's an infiltrator. He got into the culture, and then he just the whole all that yeah. We got to get back though to the real, like all this fake, all this people throwing up these
Understand
signs
this?
and all like
He
they
didn't
gotta go.
infiltrate. He didn't infiltrate anything. Russell Simmons mentored him.
And Russell Simmons is Black Boule, Black Mafia. So you're right. It wasn't an infiltration. Yeah, he just let him walk in. You let him walk in. But the reason why I'm doing this, and I might turn this into a series, the what ifs. What if hip hop just stayed true to the culture? Hip hop was always counter um, commercial. It was always revolution. It wasn't when Puffy came with the shiny suits, and it was not. Hip hop was never. Imagine if Pac would have lived, there would have been no shiny suit era. There would have been no Mace. There would have been no Cameron. Um, and fuck both of them. I'll
Not
just say it like that.
necessarily
Fuck both of them.
because Biggie was embracing it, rocking the Coogee sweaters and stuff like that. Biggie was embracing that.
I don't think there would have been a shiny suit era. Biggie wasn't in a shiny suit.
No,
I
but
don't think so.
that's where everything was headed. I mean, he wasn't wearing shiny suits, but he was wearing the shiny matching tops with Diddy. He was wearing the Coogee sweaters. He was doing a lot of that. And that was the whole thing when it came to Big. And Big was, he never saw himself. I mean, let's just be honest, he wasn't the most attractive guy. He wasn't. He had crazy cross eyes. He couldn't even look at you with one eye, let alone two. That's why he
I
always
got my
wore
eye on
glasses.
you, puppy. Puffy, I got my eye on you, nigga.
But despite all of that, they started dressing him up, you know, to, I guess, offset his not so attractive looks. And then they were able to bring the fashion houses in, him shouting out Moschino, him shouting out Versace. That was the beginning of them, you know, making the intersection between the fashion world and the hip hop world all a whole real thing. And now you look
Airy
at
spirit.
now, what?
Somebody said, no, you can pick up what you're saying. Said, what about those lyrics from Biggie? Seemed like he's playing for the team. I'm gonna just say this: go listen to Richard Pryor, and that's where Biggie got those lyrics from. That was from Richard Pryor jokes. But go ahead, carry
Which
on.
were written by Paul Mooney, who I think
Which
we
part?
all
Who's
know was homosexual.
Hermosus? How
Hummus.
about that?
Hummus.
The hummus,
Sexual.
the homosexuals,
It's
the
hummus.
homosexuals, homosexuals, sexual. How about that? Craig Mack was interesting. Face puffy. What do you mean? Craig Mack was an interesting face. Puff didn't want nobody looking back. Yeah, Puffy was the he was the baddest woman on that group that he what was the one
Well, let's be
Danny, not
very
Danny 50
clear.
Kane.
Let's be very clear. Diddy look like a monkfish. So spend a lot of money to just
He did.
make him look halfway okay. Um,
He looked like Kai Cenat.
so it's
No offense to Kai Cenat.
yeah, the hummuses. But the thing is, this is the biggest problem that I think we have with the difference between hip hop and then what became. When I hear people say, "Oh, it's the culture, it's the culture, it's the culture," they talk about rap and they say it's the culture, and the culture is clothes and jewelry and cars and idol worship and hedonistic behavior and you know reckless intimate choices and pharmaceuticals and this and that and whoop de whoop de woo and yada yada yada, right? That's the culture.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
this is what I find funny. You got all of these conservative right wing people talking about the problem with the black community is you know everything that's supposed to be rap culture, everything
Yep.
everything that's
Yep.
supposed to be rap culture is everything that they complain about with the black community. So when I hear people talking about, oh, they're saying this or they're saying that or they're saying this or they're saying that, we're not even standing up for our own community. Like, let's be clear, none of this stuff that they're heralding out there, that they're trooping out here, but none of it's good. None of it's good. And we know none of it's good. So, how do we still promote artists like Cardi B? How are we still promoting artists like Megan Thee Stallion? How are we still promoting artists like Glorilla? How are we still promoting
Mm-hmm.
artists like Soldier Boy? How are we still promoting artists like like Young Jock? How are we still promoting like no, I'm serious. Like there's so many. How are we still promoting franchises like Love and Hip Hop? How are we still promoting I, I just don't get it. We hate it
Now
when
we.
they talk about our community. We hate it when they say that we're a bunch of this and we're a bunch of that. They say, Oh my God, they always talking about our people. They always talking about our people, but the very things that we allow to represent our people are the things that we do absolutely nothing about. So it's like, to me,
It's
it's
not.
become,
It's not. Go ahead.
no. Go ahead. I'm just saying. To me, it all feels like theater. It all feels like theater. It feels staged. It feels like they let these people go out and make an ass of themselves to represent our urban communities, and then punish our communities and talk down about our communities. Let's be clear. Most of the stuff that we see, like for instance, that BET Awards nonsense with them honoring Usher. I'm still trying to understand how nobody had anything to say about that, because it was a bunch of women singing Usher songs to women. They had with a woman on stage. Like, I'm, and then they hated. Oh my God, they hated Wendy Williams for calling out all of the hummus behavior in hip hop. Meanwhile, it's you know,
Only thing that
I,
I was gonna say
uh,
is
what if hip
well,
hop? What if hip hop wasn't forced into the closet?
well, real hip hop. That's the people do not promote the lowest of the low. That's like us promoting or you know giving it up to the loser. If you lost a battle, you do not get to sit. You do not get a platform. These people who run the entertainment industry, they take the lowest of the low and they promote it. So you just mentioned a whole bunch of artists who are not really talented, who really don't have a love for the culture, and
No, I'm
yeah, and then they're
serious.
the
I'm
lowest of the low.
serious. No, no, I'm serious. If people were going to be gay, then why weren't they just gay?
Yeah,
No, for
yeah.
real. Cause what I don't understand is all of this closet shit.
Hmm.
If it's legal to be gay now, why are we still lying to the public?
That's a good question.
Straight men don't
Yeah,
sit
and I talk.
around and watch their girlfriends get ran through by a bunch of weirdo dudes and want to have their bodily fluids spread all over them. Straight men don't do that. Why are people still trying to pretend like Puff was anywhere near straight?
We're gonna pick back up on this because even the courts are not keeping it a buck with the public when you look at certain stuff that we're still doing more investigations on allegations that Puff uh, did some things to some people, got it on tape, things like that. Um, even with the case that just happened with him just now, there's a lot of stuff that's very sus. I'll just say it like that. But when you're dealing with these occultists, there's no, it's almost there. It's not binary. Binary codes is ones and zeros. You're dealing with something that's quantum that could be either or, and that's what Puff is. Puff is what either or, right? You talk about take that. There's a whole nother connotation with that with
See,
him.
this is the thing,
And
Jasmine. This is the thing, Jasmine. To say that the world may never know is crazy work to me because the world does know. The question is why don't they want to know? Why are people so quick to not want to accept reality?
Cognitive dissonance, right? Cognitive dissonance.
Like the simple fact that people actually think that Sean Carter is a real hip hop legend.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed for the part that I played in selling that lie.
Yeah. People, like I said, the industry will promote the lowest of the low and make it seem like this is it, and it's not. So that person, go look at that. Remember that album in My Lifetime Volume One. There was some hits on there, but y'all got to see there was no originality. When we talk about hip hop, it's authenticity, it's originality. You're not coming in here sounding like everything. That's why even today, with what they're promoting out there as hip hop, it ain't because we didn't bite, we didn't copy. Everybody's copying each other. Everybody looks at, oh, that's successful. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. Um, I would give it up to Soldier Boy at least being original. He was whack as shit, in my opinion, but he was original. He was the first Fruity Loop and Fruity Boot, whatever rapper, right? I'll give it up to him for at least being authentic. But other than that, it's trash. And that's what we've got now. Soldier Boy, you got a whole bunch of clones who are trash. And that's pretty much what's going on right here. Yeah, he's a biter. You're right. Jay is a super biter. Everybody knows that. Even Drake, we ain't gonna say Drake's a super biter, but Drake be biting. But he's got at least got talent. I'll give it to Drake. I'm starting to feel a little pity for Drake, just like I felt bad for that stripper. You know what I'm saying? But
Honey,
uh Drake.
we're gonna have to work on what you do with your pity.
um, but before I go, because I'm gonna wrap it. Look, yeah, I already see my phone. It's whatever. It's well, maybe it's because of whatever. But you know, this phone be getting hot. Listen, um, the industry is all of a sudden taking a jab at NBA YoungBoy. So I'm not the biggest NBA YoungBoy fan, but I do appreciate some of his music. He had that one joint makes no sense, and I thought that was fire. NBA YoungBoy is like the next up because he has his own. The youth is rocking with him, and he has his own movement. So you got to look at that. Let's just hope that these industry cats don't try to get him to make him like the next. Because like I told y'all, look, y'all really want to know how the succession of the game went. There really was no king of the rap. Like my man Ice Cube saying, no, ain't no kings in this rap thing. They siblings, nothing but my children. One shot, you're disappearing. There was really no king of rap, but the industry appointed Puffy, Jay-Z, Dre to a degree, but yeah, Dre, yeah. I mean, yeah, shout out to Dre, but it was Puffy, Jay-Z. Puffy's out the way. Jay, everybody, the emperor has no clothes. Everybody see that Jay is what he is, right? So now the industry is probably gonna be looking to appoint the next. The kids love NBA YoungBoy. So NBA YoungBoy, if he got it, he got it. Shout out to him. I like Roddy Rich, but Roddy Rich ain't consistent. I like Kendrick. Kendrick ain't consistent. You get what I'm saying? And I'm starting to look at Kendrick a certain way. That's just me though. But overall though, look, y'all, there's a whole like transition going on right now with the game, with the hip hop game. And it's pretty much on its way out. I'll keep it a buck, but there's some people in the backdrop that's gonna try to keep this thing going. So um, Jay was that guy. Drake was supposed to replace Jay Z. If y'all really pay attention to what's going on, Drake was supposed to replace Jay Z, but that didn't happen. And you see what's going on now. And shout out to RBX. I hit RBX up. I was hoping he would give me an interview. RBX is the guy that's suing Spotify, and he just mentioned Drake. RBX is Snoop's cousin. Uh, that's the OG. Shout out to RBX. And everybody's coming after Drake on all types of levels. There's all types of other stuff that's going to come out on Drake, and it's just his turn because Jay is getting his. You know, the Rymere stuff with Jay is coming out. Like it's a lot coming out. It's a whole lot coming out. But I don't want to get too in depth. Really, I'm just saying with the hip hop, like the what ifs, the whole conversation would have been just like, what if true hip hop stayed within the culture, the real culture, the people who really run this, the people who influence hip hop is global. It still is global, but it was so
What if
global and it
real
was so
hip hop never
powerful.
sold out?
There you go. That's the question. That's the question. If hip hop didn't sell out, where would we be?
Hip hop sold out. It sold out big time. It sold out big time. But you know what? At the end of the day, isn't that how it always goes? All it takes is a little bit of money, some flashy clothes, a car, big house. People just, oh, hip hop did sell out. Hip hop
Hip
did.
hop sold out.
Yeah, it did.
Industry is
Yeah,
sold out to the industry.
yeah. Period.
If you look at the people who are running the show, they sold out to the industry.
Period.
Now we could talk about the real culture of hip hop, but we're not organized. Yeah, well, it does exist where it's supposed to. You're right, but we're talking about
It doesn't
what the
exist where it
masses,
counts. It doesn't exist
right?
where it counts.
The hip hop from mid '80s, because to me, when it was variety and where it was, it was everywhere. Like I would say, mid '80s up until the early '90s. That
The
was the
second
greatest
that they
time.
gave Will Smith that freaking Grammy, that was the beginning of the fall off.
Yep, yep,
Because
yeah. But
up until that moment, rappers weren't worried about winning Grammys.
right, we were saying fucking Grammy.
If hip hop had
Yeah, y'all.
stayed quarantined, came up with our own award ceremonies, like I don't think people understand. We fall down to these graven images. But see, you get that statue, and then along with that statue comes endorsement deals, and then along with that endorsement deals comes this, comes that. The second you take it corporate, it's over. It's over. The second that
There,
female rappers stop caring about their pen more than they care about their clothes. Like, like when I go back and I think to some of the dopest female MCs, they weren't worried about looking like strippers.
the Conscious Daughters, Boss, um, Light.
Hmm. Like if you look at Yo Yo now, Yo Yo looks like a tomboy compared to rappers these days. And she was one of the earlier female rappers that was selling, cute, pretty, that kind of thing. You had Salt and Pepper. But if you look at them compared to these chick now, They all look like cute tomboys. Shoot, I remember what was it? What song was that? With Salt and Pepper in the spandex biker short sets with they patent
Push
leather
it,
shoes on. Uh-uh.
push it.
Get up, everybody
Oh
get
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah.
Man. Left Eye, bro, like we've lost so much of great. I mean, the truth is, if all of the people that we've lost along the way in hip hop hadn't have passed away, how much different would hip hop look like right now?
Well, that's the next conversation because I honestly, that's where I wanted to go. But of course, we went all over the place. I appreciate y'all coming in, but the what ifs we were going to talk about, and we're still going to talk about it. What if this person didn't pass on? What if we didn't lose Scott LaRock? What if we didn't lose Easy E? I think people, they give Easy E slack for being who he was, and they were, oh, he wasn't this, and he was a fake gangster, blah blah blah, and whatever. But he was a real ass businessman, and he really cared for the people and the culture. So you could imagine an Easy E and a Tupac, like, come on, oh man, it'd been crazy. Yeah, we'll talk about that. But what if these people would have lived on? And the thing is even when you talk about certain artists, like I'm gonna keep talking about Jay-Z, he just held the ball for too long. You're supposed to pass it. Remember that song D&D All Stars 1-2 Pass It? I know they were talking about but you gotta the game, pass it. You ain't supposed to just hang on to it like I'm finna retire and I'm gonna keep the ball. Like, and that's the problem. People like Jay and they were in their position
He
for
retired more than
too
Michael Jordan did
long.
and did less.
Yeah, and just and corrupted the game and made it whack. That was the problem. I look at yeah, people who really knew what it was. It was like, okay, you passed the information on, you passed the game on, you crown the next. Like I know when they crown. I remember when they crowned Kendrick. And it's funny. I mentioned Game before. Game was salty. Game has always been salty because of that. But I get it. But it's like I can give it to you, but what you gonna do with it? That's why I said I look at Kendrick now. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know what the industry, the game is gonna do
He had us all
moving forward.
excited. He had our mouths all fixed for hip hop revolution, and all he gave us was scissor on tour
All right.
and a classic car.
Yeah, y'all. It's deep. It's deep. Like, but if you hear and truly love and respect the culture, we're still here. It's just that trust and believe the influence ain't what it was, but you still got the 9 elements. It's more than 5 or 4 elements. There are 9 elements. We'll talk about that too. There are 9 elements in hip hop, y'all. Um, and I think ultimately we got to focus on another element, which is unity and organization. You know what I'm saying? So
He
yeah,
got everybody running around talking about A minor. I want to see the proof. I was waiting for the receipts. Where are the receipts? You got to give me more than Millie Bobby Brown.
yeah. Jay Dilla, rest in peace. That was one of my favorites. Dilla was the best. People, Alchemist. Yeah, I shout out to Alchemist. Okay, Alchemist is cool. He from up the street. He from Beverly Hills. But Dilla from the D, hands down, best producer ever. Then I'm gonna give it to Primo. It's kind of like Primo Dilla, but yeah, see, there's a whole lot of conversation that we could have because it's really just about passing on the information to the next generation so that they could take it to the next level. Uh, like yeah, we could be disappointed. I'm definitely disappointed in J. Cole. We know what that was about.
J.
Um,
Cole is a punk bitch. I'm done with him.
Yeah, man.
When
There's a
he
whole lot. We'll,
decided,
we'll,
when he decided he was going to tap out of the battle and talking about he going to respectfully bow out, I'm like, oh, oh, you a hoe. But then I had to
Jane.
look and see who his daddy was. And when your daddy is you know, cause I'm sorry, the more he grows them dreads, he's really looking like one of those bad guy characters from what you call it, from the fifth element.
Oh damn. Shout out to was it Jane L. A. Key A7. She said something real. I got it. I get you. Got to tell me. I used to live down the street from King Drew, so she's talking about Kendrick. It's funny. The homegirl, she ended up going to Spelman. Shout out to the homegirl, Sugar Ray. Um,
Salute to
she
MOP,
was up
Mass
there.
Out Posse.
She was up there at. She went to King Drew because King Drew was down the street from Centennial. That's where Kendrick went. And yeah, she said he used to come up there. They used to battle. And this early 2000s, yeah, when Kendrick was just getting going. Um, yeah, that's a whole nother conversation. But the ones who's supposed to kept the culture for real, yeah, just disappointments. That's all it is. You just get disappointed, and I don't know what to say. That I don't know what to say. I'm not gonna put it in the hands of these current idiots.
I tell you
I
what I
like I
do
like.
know. I tell you what I do know. Speaking of hip hop betrayals, I wish Amir Questlove Thompson showed as much sorrow and grief for Malik B as he did for D'Angelo.
Mm,
That's just looking weird. Ah,
we can continue. Jag, you should go live, and I'm gonna pop up and cook for you or something. How about that? Let's not do that. I cooked for Jag last time, and she got disappointed, and I understand why.
what are you talking about?
Now I said we could continue this conversation on your channel, y'all. If you're not a member over
What do
at
you
the
mean he
Jaguar
is who
Wright
he is? Don't give that fat, funky bitch
Quest,
no pass.
yeah, she has a healthy hatred for Quest.
I don't
And I
hate
thought
it.
he was like,
I
when
don't
I ain't gonna
hate
say
it.
hatred. Let me get it. Not hatred.
I am extremely disappointed
Disappointed.
in that bariatric failure.
Mm. That's funny. We be having off conversation because I was talking about you know Black Thought and just Common, like different MCs, like MCs, and we were just like, what happened? How come they didn't? And yeah, it's because they were dick riding Jay-Z. We can say that. And it's
No, it's
like,
just it's all very clear. I'll never forget the way he was just so in love with the Jigga Man. The way he couldn't stop going around. I never took into consideration that maybe he was being coached or paid to promote certain things.
yeah, mm,
He had more love for Jay-Z than he did for any of the members of his own band, including Tariq.
wow,
Like, when you find people, I just, I think for me, what people tend to forget is I had personal relationships with these people. I knew these people in real life. I was there to watch the betrayals happen in real time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I watched how people got loved up and I watched how people got tore down. I watched how they sat there and they implemented certain things to destroy certain people's lives, to kill certain people's confidence. I watched how they went and they turned. But like I saw it, I was there. These aren't rumors for me. Listen to me. I got all the love in the world for
I like Most
Dante.
Def.
I got all the world.
I
I
don't
got
really
all
like Q-Tip. I
I
heard
got
Q-Tip is a
all
scumbag.
well, Tip is tip. And this is the thing, you know,
Can't take away from his talent though. Q-Tip is talented, but
he's talented, but the thing is he bartered and he traded on that talent. He bartered and he traded on it. And all I'm gonna say to everybody or anybody these days, if you're gonna say or speak highly of an MC, I want you to be able to spit your favorite 16 from them
there
almost
you go.
immediately.
There
Right
you
now,
go.
at this point
That's
in
what we were
time,
talking about.
if we gonna talk about hip hop, if you can't recite if you can't recite they hottest 316s, all you're doing
Cause I
is
can,
hero worshiping for no reason.
cause I can recite Rakim's from
Of course,
Paid in
Big L was
Full. Then
better
I
than Jay
did,
Z. Of course, Big
of
L was
course,
better than Jay Z. Still is.
and yeah, even with his short stint. But yeah,
Cut
even
real
Big
short.
L, even Big L. But I say Rakim because Rakim and Karis one of my greats, right? And Q, right? That's just me. And you can
The only
recite. I
reason you're
can go
saying
back
that,
to Paid in
the
Full.
only reason you're saying that about them is because they got to live. That's the sad part about it. The rappers that we talk about, that we speak so highly of, the only reason we get to say that about them is because they got to live.
Yeah,
What if
they've
KRS One had a
always
got
been
taken out on that second
instead of Scholar
Boogie Down
Rock.
Productions album? What if he never got to make his first? What if he had gotten taken out? Would we be saying that
Yep,
about
we wouldn't
him?
have known him. Nope,
Would we be
nope.
saying that about Rakim if he had gotten taken out on that second album with him and Eric B? No, we wouldn't
Right.
be. Would we like that's the thing. That's the thing that trips me out. We get to say the things about the people that we say because they got to live.
Even DOC. DOC, one of the illest out there ever. Voice too, right? And then what happened? His voice gets taken away. Very tragic. But
Which is
DOC is still
crazy.
like,
Which is crazy because they said that Tracy was still able to speak when he went into that ambulance.
mm, mm. I think he even said something about that. And then all of a sudden he they did the surgery or something and he couldn't.
I'll never forget the first time me and Tracy sat down and met up in Dallas. And it was very difficult because he had respect for me and he knew I ain't fuck with his baby mom. But it was always respect between me and Tracy Curry. And it'll forever be. You know,
I remember
it's mm,
when DOC had to call, I think it was Professor Black. Oh no, it was Jason Black.
you wanna know
Because
what's
Jason
crazy?
Black
Even after they
called
took
Erica
his
Badu
voice.
and his daughter a whore.
Well, this is the thing. Erica is doing what she's doing with her kids.
This was when
And
Erica Badu and the daughter, his daughter, DLC's daughter, did some type of. They were doing some Instagram posts with the booty out. It was weird. I forget. If you remember, this was some years back. You
yeah,
probably
I
remember that.
know. I know. And when she took her to the Met Gala, dressed in her drawers with a bunch of bedazzled jewels all over herself, like she was offering her up to the Shluminati gods. I feel bad for Tracy that he's forced to watch his daughter be pimped out like that by her own mama. But that's what it is. Um, it's and when her efforts didn't work enough with her own daughter, then she turned out Summer Walker, and now look at Summer. Look at Summer.
Oh
That
damn.
poor confused
You know,
child.
that white guy. He ended up following me on Twitter. The one she went to, the one she went to the thing with. That's funny.
The one she went to the Masonic TV Awards with. I
I
wish
was trying
people
to
would
get an
start
interview.
calling it. I wish people would start calling it what it actually is rather than calling it MTV. It's the Masonic Television Award Show.
Jag, I heard you rapping bar on the Fat Cats joint. What song is that? We talking about? You talking about Fat Cats Bigger Fish by the Coop? You talking about you
No,
rap to
there was
that?
a crew. No, there was a crew from Philadelphia back in the day called the Fat Cat Click. I used to do work with them.
Oh, okay. They all had fat cats. They were female MCs.
No, they were guys.
Oh,
You a mess.
oh my bad. I'm sorry.
And salute to 100X as well. I wonder how Staff is doing. I haven't seen Staff for quite some years. James Butler is James Butler. But at the end of the day, it's so interesting when I see comments like that in the chat because I know exactly what part of town they from. It's so funny. People like to try to pretend like I'm not me, like I don't have the pedigree that I got. But
hmm
you know, it's it is what it is. Oh, I see the petty crew is coming in here.
Well, I don't see who. I must not. I can't see them. What do you mean the petty crew? Oh, you talking about? Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, we're not answering any questions about that, y'all. But we'll. I'm gonna do this again tomorrow, and I think if y'all got questions, then just leave them in the comment section here, and then we'll answer. But I'm gonna wrap this up. We basically do. I don't like spending time on the what if, the conjectures, but I figured this would be a dope concept because me and Jag were talking about that. And her song, "The What If," is one of my favorites. And I said, yeah, what if? What if hip hop would have did this? What if people who uh, represented the culture took the culture like how we should have? But yeah, we can continue the conversation. I could probably do one more tomorrow, and then we can go from there. But I don't know if Jag was gonna go live, but I was saying go over to Jag's page, the Jaguar Wright Effect, anyway, because if you're not subscribed, go subscribe. We're almost at 100K over there. After a year, 100K subscribers. So good work. We keeping it pushing. You got anything you want to say, Jag, before
Yeah.
I shut
Um,
it down?
I could have never done it without you, you know? Could have never done it without you.
Hmm
I'm grateful, and I think more people should be grateful um for those who like spending time on my channel, for those who like coming over to get to know me or to get to see me or whatever the case may be. A lot of that is possible because of this man right here, Wolfgang Amadeus. And, you know, him as my producer since he's come on and started shaping and building content with me. Man, I couldn't be more grateful than to have someone who I trust as much as I do when it comes to, you. So I want to say thank you.
Appreciate you. Teresa saying, you say, am I hating a little bit? What are you talking about? What am I hating on?
I don't know.
Uh, if you talking
Anybody
about
who knows you would know you really ain't got a hateful bone in your body. Not honestly.
well, I do hate though, and I pull a sword out on you if you know I hate you. Shout out to you,
Let's see. I try to
you
say something.
trolls. Shout out to you trolls on online who I will be seeing in court. That's I show my love that way. That's how we do it.
Oh
All
my
right, y'all.
goodness. I'm
All right.
done. Peace.
Yep. That was a good one. We appreciate y'all. We'll be back. Peace.